Well, good morning, guys.
Good morning. For those of you who are new here, this is Levi and I'm Tanya. This is Bent Hitch Farm. We are building our homestead from scratch.
Yeah, and today we have a really fun project we're going to be doing. We're going to be running the main power feed from the barn, which is where our solar system will be housed, to the house. And so we want to be able to backfill all these trenches, and so we need to run this main power.
Oh, and we have Ryder here. He's our almost, about 2.5-year-old Bernedoodle. He's full of energy and you'll see him a lot. But we have all of our supplies set up. We got the wires set up yesterday.
Yep.
And figured out all of our conduit that we'll be running the wires through. So
Yep, and we got hopefully a cool way to pull these wires through. There is a couple of turns and stuff that we have to kind of go through, but hopefully it'll go smoothly and we can get this main power feed run. All right, let's get going. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is run this 1.5-inch conduit. In this trench, we have our main water line, which is the black poly pipe. That's the main water going to the house. And then the white 4-inch pipe is actually coming from the gutters that will be on the house. That's going to lead back down and go into our water catchment tanks. So that's what that line is. This will need another, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of topsoil on top of it. So that's 2 feet down. So that's for the water. This electrical doesn't have to be that far down if it's in conduit, but you might as well just use the same trench that you already dug. So we're just going to utilize the same trench and just have the conduit sit right in there. So what we're going to do is just glue up all these pieces of conduit and then run them all the way over to where we want to have the electric come out, and then we'll start feeding the wire. We have a nice rig set up to help with the wire going in there, and as I'm pulling the wire through, Tanya's going to start helping it feed off of these rolls. This is the way the wire comes. We ordered this online. It was the cheapest place where we can get it. So we have these set up. We have to run 2 main power lines, a neutral line, and a ground line through this pipe. So we're hoping that this is going to work. The worst part would be is if we pulled it halfway and then one of the wires came off or something and we got to the end and we were missing a wire, then we'd have to pull them all back out and try it again. So hopefully we can one-shot this and get it done. So we'll go ahead and jump on it. The first thing we got to do is just glue up this conduit. So let's get going.
where do you want it?
It doesn't matter. You can put it right on top of the water line. So there's the length that we want. So now let's cut this. We have the fitting over there.
Might not even need to cut it.
Yeah.
I don't think you
All right. So as you guys can see, we're running this conduit right in this trench, but these pipes have special, like, big sweeping 45s and 90 degrees. This is a 90-degree turn, and it just helps pulling the wire through there. We're also running, if you notice that these pipes have a bell end, you always want to make sure that the wire that you want to pull is going to go into the bell because it's tapered in here, so it'll help with the wire sliding through here. If you were to run it up against here, you can see how that edge is super sharp. and it would actually get caught up on that and hold up. So you want to make sure you run the bells that direction. So we're going to set this down in the trench, and then we'll cut this so this 45 can run by the foundation of the house. We want to get this up against. I'd like for it to be like that. So we're just going to be a little short. So we'll glue these two together, and then we'll get a measurement. Yeah. For the 90?
Yeah.
All right, so we're standing in where the garage is going to be, and this will have a concrete floor in it. And we decided to run our main run of power into the garage, and that way we don't have anything on the outside of the house. We don't have to have a meter box. We're completely off grid. If we ever did get a meter box, all that would be just run to the barn, and that'll be where the main feed would be, and then the house would be basically supplied from the barn anyway. So we're not really worried about that, but it'd be nice not to have piping and stuff coming up right in our walkway. So what we're going to do is we went and looked at the print, and there is a door that goes into this garage, the normal access door for the garage, a man door, and it is 2 feet off of our dog trot. So all I did was hook on the wall, went 2 feet, put a mark, and then we're gonna have a 3/0 door in here, so that's 36 inches. So I put another mark, and then I went and pulled layout from the end of the garage and how this stud cavity is gonna be laid out. And basically, we're gonna have a stud here, then we're gonna have another stud right here, and that's kind of, you know, one of these panel boxes basically fit in between 2 studs, and it's kind of close to the door, so we're a little bit concerned about that. So we're going to move over 1 bay of studs. So here's a mark dead center of this stud cavity, and so we are going to run our pipe, our main pipe coming up out of the ground with our wires in it is going to be dead center of that, so that it goes right into the center of our panel box. That's where the knockout is to hook it up. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So now we just have to get a measurement and make sure that this pipe comes up right dead center of this stud cavity. All right, come a good level, and those of you who know, put a mark at the bubble that works the best. And we will level or plumb this down. So there's our mark that we made dead center, and I just want to get a mark down here so we know where that pipe's going to be.
Is that where you want it?
Yeah. So should let me put this on first.
Okay. There's 0 airflow down here.
I know, man. Alright, so let's go 34. No, you'll just have to make sure that it's up against the wall. try like a little relaxation.
It's got a little play back there anyways, so that works.
Okay, so we have our conduit all laid, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna rig up like a little parachute. And this is a cool trick I've seen. You basically take just a corner of a bag. You could use anything really. And you kind of want to make this corner just about the width of the pipe. It'll help push it through the pipe better. And so basically this plastic bag is going to be pushed into this pipe. And then we're going to use a shop vac that you can reverse. So this little DeWalt shop vac has an input and an output for the hose. So I switched those around so that the shop vac cord or the shop vac line is actually going to blow out instead of suck in. And then I rigged up just like this is an old shampoo bottle of Riders, but I rigged up a piece. I just cut it about 3 inches long so that the end is on it. And then I drilled a hole in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this little baggie through the hole. And then we're going to pull it through and push it out the end so that the string rides in that hole and then it comes out the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this baggie, make sure it's nice and, because it's basically going to act like a parachute really. Stick that in our pipe, and we have a string here, a roll. And basically when the vacuum blows, the string is going to be allowed to pull through that hole, and then it'll go all the way down the pipe and come out the other side. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to tape the end of this shop vac hose onto that plastic bottle, and then we'll see how it works.
All right.
All right, well,
First attempt did not go as planned.
failure. So we pulled it all back out.
Yeah.
And Tanya redesigned our parachute.
Yes, so I made it more like an actual parachute so that 4 like kind of points are tied together, and then we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it goes better. We kept feeding and feeding and feeding
Oh,
and
we
feeding.
used half the roll.
And I was like, I don't think we need that much string. So
I'm like, no, keep putting it in there. So she finally made me stop. We pulled it back, and it was like a big ball that we pulled out. So, all right, take 2. Let's see how this goes.
yeah. All right. Feed it in there just a smidge. Let's see how the string moves. All right. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
I think it's through.
Is it already through?
That's why it's not going, I bet.
right.
Hold on, let me go check. We were getting a little worried that it wasn't going to work. Let's see here. Oh yeah. There it is, right on the ground. All right, awesome. All right, so we got our wires out here, and we're gonna have them staggered so that they're not so thick when they first go through, so that the first wire is just going to be the thickness of one wire, and then we're going to have this bounce back a little bit to the second wire, bounce back a little bit to the third, and then to our ground wire. So I'm just going to roll this all with electrical tape. I tied it twice with knots, so hopefully we don't have any failure. And
yeah, we don't want to have to restart this whole process.
electrical tape, you really want to pull it tight. You start pulling on this, it doesn't just stretch and let the string slip through or the wire slip through. So we're going to go ahead and just roll this the best we can. Hopefully I have enough electrical tape.
But you have about 5 more rolls in the barn.
Maybe. All right, so we have our wire tied to our string, and we're gonna come over here and start pulling. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take this is the only hammer I have that has a rubber handle, but I'm basically going to wrap the string around the handle of the hammer, and then I'm gonna pull up, then slide the hammer down, wrap the string around, pull up, and then at the same time, Tanya over there is gonna be feeding the cord, the wires into the conduit. So let's see how it goes. All right, you ready?
Ready? It's gonna be a little tricky, I think. Are you pulling?
Yeah, but it is not easy.
I'm not going to be able to use my arms.
Is it going in?
Yeah. Took me a second. I figured out a system. It's definitely getting harder.
All right, push. Okay, hold up. All right, got it through. Ready?
Yeah.
Push. Push. All right, push. 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 All right, that worked out great. All right, got it all backfilled. I need to now go over and get all that dirt that I've kind of burned up when they dug this hole for me for the water tanks. I ended up shuttling all the dirt over there, so I'm gonna slowly start backfilling this. But all in all, everything turned out really nice. I bought 100 feet of that cable, and I have 5 feet sticking out over here, and I have 5 feet sticking out over there above both walls. So your electrical box should be between 4 and 6 feet. So 5 feet's right in the middle. It's gonna be perfect. So I'm happy that I bought 100 feet of all 3 of those colors. And then also the ground wire. I have the electrical wire sitting on top of the 4-inch PVC wire, or PVC line. And then it comes up over here. And then I'll stub up a slip fitting, because that needs to happen if it's above ground. It needs to have some sort of a way for that to relieve pressure so it doesn't hurt the wire. So it has like a non-glued, watertight slip fitting that kind of expands and goes up and down with the change in temperature. So I still have to add that, and then I still have to drill into the shipping container and run the wires into that. So, but that'll be it on another video. So I think that'll do it for today. Thanks for tagging along, and hope you guys have a great one. See you.